Hi, my name's Robin. I'm taking Bio 272, and I have my little skeleton friend here, and I sculpted some blood vessels for you. So we're going to learn which ones these are today. I'm going to read right from the paper, just so that it's easier. Okay, so I got my heart to go on the inside, so it's right behind here, behind the sternum, so it's kind of hard to see. So coming out from the top of the heart is the aorta, and then the first branch right here is the brachiocephalic artery, coming off of the brachiocephalic branch, and it comes down, and over here it becomes the subclavian artery. Here, let me bring you in so you can see. So kind of see my heart in there. So this is the subclavian artery. And about here in the armpit area is where it turns into the axillary artery. Set you back down here. And then here it turns into the brachial artery. And then in the lower arm we have the radial, which this might get a little hard to see because I did them together. So this outside one here is the radial artery, and then the inside one is the ulnar artery. And then they go into the palmar arches, which are these two red horseshoe lines, and then into the digital arteries. So now we're going to work our way back up through the blue side. So same digital arteries are the fingertips, and then the venous palmar arches are kind of a little more like a spider web. They're kind of zigzagged in there. Let's see if I can scooch this in. So there's the arches. And then we go up through the radial and ulnar veins. Let me look at them from the front here. So this one's going to be the radial. This one's going to be the ulnar. And then the brachial vein is this bigger one out here. And then the superficial ones that it flows through, this one is the basic, so the smaller one. So this is the brachial, this is the basic vein, and this is the cephalic vein. And they go through the middle here of those two is the medium cubital vein. So those are just smaller than the main brachial vein. Following the brachial vein up into the axillary vein, and then into the subclavian vein here, which is right behind the collarbone, and then into, back up here. So axillary vein, subclavian vein, and then into the superior vena cava in the top of the heart. So that's our upper portion. I also have, while I'm up here, let me turn it around. You can kind of see that a little bit better. Here would be the external vein on the outside, the right common carotid artery in the middle, and then the internal carotid vein. So those also come out from the top of the superior vena cava, from the brachiocephalic vein, and then they branch up into the external and internal veins. Okay, so same thing. We're going to start from the aorta. I guess if I really want to show you. So there's my heart. It's the bottom. I had it wrap around that piece. So this is the descending aorta, and it goes up to the top to make the whole aorta. So then coming down is the descending aorta, which turns into the common iliac artery right in here. And then the external iliac artery, I kind of put it over here. It's a little branch off of the common iliac artery. So here's the external, and then I put an internal one right Right there's the internal one. Then this turns into the femoral artery. Comes right down here. It's the big blood supply for the lower legs. And then the popliteal artery runs down the back. It's this whole red one. I had it run all the way down the back. But right here it's called the popliteal artery. And then my posterior tibial artery is this one right here. And then the anterior anterior tibial artery, sorry, is this front red one right here. And then it flows into the dorsal pedial artery, which is going to be down here. And then you have your arterial arch, which is, oh, I lost his foot. Let's bring it down here. Dorsal artery, arterial arch is the red horseshoe. And then the digital arteries are the red arteries that go out to the toes. So now we're going to go back up. So the digital veins are the blue ones for each toe. Then we come up through the venous arch, which is this right here. And then the anterior and posterior tibial veins. So this one's the anterior. And then the posterior wraps around. This is my posterior. And then the great and small spasms veins. The great one is this one out here, and then the small one is right here. And then the popliteal vein is this middle vein running down the back of the leg right here. And then the femoral vein is this one. And then the external iliac vein is this one. Yep. And then the common iliac vein, femoral vein. This is the external. I put it up here because the pelvis is in the way. This is the external iliac vein. This is the common iliac vein. And then it goes up into the heart, to the bottom, into the right atrium, and through the inferior vena cava. And I think that's everything. So thanks for tuning in and learning how the blood flows from the heart down to the fingers and back, and then down to the toes and back.